Welcome. I want to thank everyone for coming out and celebrating this special occasion. I mean, from my heart, I heard some wonderful things, and I give thanks for it. It's all good. Um, I have been cooking all my life. I was the first of six children, and my mother was disabled well, she had polio, and she didn't have the strength to do all the things that a lot of the women were able to do. So I was that person that did all of the things, helping her with the children at the age of 6, 7, 8. I carried babies on my side. It's probably the reason why I'm challenged with knees and hips and sciatica. But it's all good because I also learned that you can always fix those things. And I came up when my mom didn't work, but she cooked really good soul food. And those black eyed peas and cornbread. They even had good ham hocks and roast beef every Sunday, sweet potato pies and macaroni and cheese. I mean, we had it, and I'm grateful for that. We also had our own home in the Fillmore. I'm from San Francisco. The Fillmore, which is the Harlem of San Francisco. And I was grateful to live in a community where there was blacks that was coming in from the South during the 40s and 50s. And I'm telling you, those people were together. I mean, I wouldn't be here 70 years if it wasn't because I had that experience of the models, real fathers that were in the homes, and they worked, they took care of their wives and children. But as I grew older, my mother said, I know you won't have any children. Why? Because I helped raise the last 3 children. So I go off to college at the age of 17. I finished high school early, and I was very excited. I put the cooking aside and all that, party, dance. I worked in the medical field as a medical lab tech, drawing blood. And after a year of that, well, I drew a patient's blood, and before I drew the blood, she was somewhat acting like she was squeamish or afraid. And I was 19, and I wasn't thinking about where I better protect myself. But she said she was okay, but she wasn't. So when I had gone in to draw the blood, and I came out, she jumped, and the needle stuck me. And that was the end of my whole career of eating whatever, like some people can eat when they're 40s and 50s, and I had to stop. By the time I was 20, I was in the kitchen. The cooking was just a part of my school and work, and I could never give that up. I had to pack my lunches, bring my food. Before the microwaves were around in 73, 74, we had an oven in the laboratory. I used to heat up my black eyed peas and my cornbread and all of that. And to go on with that experience, I also had opportunities to meet a lot of Native American men in San Francisco. And the one thing that I had going was the fact that I cooked. So they would always want to come to my house and eat. Friends would come and eat, and I was experimenting, making all these foods. I gave up my roommates, and I decided I wanted to live alone. And that's when I had all these cookbooks that my great aunts, who were cooks too, then when they made their transitions, I got the books. So I had an opportunity to start at the age of 21, 22, preparing food, keeping up with all the things, and also sharing with people. Later, I married, and I had 3 sons. And the one good thing about them, they're very strong and healthy because I prepared food for them on a daily basis. And only occasionally we would go to McDonald's and, what is it, what are those places we used to go to? There was a place called Munchies. Hamburgers were 12 cents. Now, they were really trying to get us in a loop there. 12 cents for hamburgers. And when you ate those things, your body could feel a certain way. It wasn't natural. But anyway, fast forward, I've gone on and raised my children. I didn't travel very much because it was financially challenging, so I had to raise the children. I wanted to make sure that I sacrificed for them, and I did that. After they grew up, I returned to college and I finished my degree in library technology and to go on into humanities with the emphasis on computer science. By the time I was 50, I gave that up. Also, on the side, I prepared a lot of healthy foods for a lot of my friends that were going through health challenges. You know, there's diabetes, high blood pressure. Some were having respiratory condition. So I helped them all. And yeah. And now, 7 years later, 7 years ago, I'm in the Gambia. And when I came here, I was preparing food for myself because I didn't know anyone. So I had an opportunity to have some ladies to come in and do housework, everything in the house. And I was preparing food for them. And then finally I said, you know what? You guys are gonna help me put the food together. And that's what we've been doing here in the Gambia for 7 years, putting food together, inviting people to check out the food. And the food is medicine, by the way. It's healing. It helps you to reduce the weight if you care to stay on that lifestyle. But anyway, it's been a journey. It has been a journey, and it's wonderful that I had a lot of good friends, you know, that supported me, and along with my husband. So, is there anything else I want to embark upon, knowing that here in the Gambia, we have had some wonderful people to help us to get where we are today. So I want to thank you so much for coming out and sharing with me, you know, filling my heart with all this love and support. And number one, I think we should continue to have unity, continue to come together. Even though you may have a feeling of someone, it's okay. I think we should overcome, you know, our own challenges. I had to this morning tell myself that I'm letting go all of the negative, and I want to start anew. This is what 70 is about. My mom didn't make it. She passed on at 66, and my dad 63. So I'm really in a position to keep it going. Thank you.
Many students that she's imparted her wisdom upon and also her experience. So we have some graduates here, and Mama Nasira can give you a little background on them. The first one to receive the completion of advanced level chef at Spicy Tasty Vegan Institute. This day, the 4th of January, 2024 in Gambia, is Yassine Traale. Please, Yassine. Give her a hand, please. This girl makes some, oh my God, some of the things she, have mercy. No, sir, we can talk about it.
Yassine. He came, she's a graduate of the cooking school. Mariama has been with us over 2.5 years, and she's a higher achiever. Can see so many things that a lot of us cannot see, but she's very deep.
Experience in itself. Her and her husband are phenomenal people. You learn so much from them. And she invited me today for her birthday party, and I'm so grateful to her for doing that. And I just thank you. I thank my Father in heaven. And it is just wonderful. And to everyone, have a great time, and you will definitely learn from these two people. I feel so blessed to know them. Thank you.
Cordu Kandi Born Toure, and I met Mama Nasira about 2 years ago over the telephone. I actually have started illness, a respiratory illness, excuse me, which I'm really actually challenged with now. I can relate to you, Dr. Joe, with all this dust and everything around. But I called, I have a friend, we have a mutual friend, Jalika Jata in Gunjur, And she said, oh, you need to call Mama Nasira. I have this book, and this book is something that could probably help you, but maybe, you need to talk to her. So I called Mama Nasira, and we talked, and we talked, and we talked. I had never met her or seen her. We literally talked for about an hour. And at the time, I was on my way, going back to the U.S. I grew up in Washington, D.C., although this is my home. And not until a few weeks ago, at another friend of ours, Sister Akua, we actually met face to face. And I hear different people saying that if you meet Mama Nasira, it's like a bouquet of flowers. It is like the morning sun. I can definitely attest to that. And it's been such a wonder and a pleasure and an honor, and I'm very, very happy to be here to help you celebrate this momentous occasion. Because 7 is a divine number. 7 is a divine, and you are divine, my sister. And I really appreciate you.
Wow.
Yes, I really
That's so
appreciate you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Those that
you.
keep in touch.
so much for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Mama Nasira Ajila. I am from San Francisco, California. I was the oldest of 6 children, and that means I had to do a lot of the motherly things at an early age, such as cooking and cleaning, then going to college and just doing all sorts of wonderful things. But my experience with healing and wellness is at the age of 19, going to college and working, going to school, partying, just doing everything, just enjoying myself. And as a lab tech, I was drawing a patient's blood. And I got stuck with that needle after I drew her blood because she jumped. And after that, I became very ill because of all of the processing food. My liver was damaged. My stool was dark. My eyes were yellow. I was really close to death. But because I was young and determined, and I listened to this doctor in 1973, he said, "You need to eat the way your mother raised you." So that's when I started learning how to prepare foods without a lot of meat. I started cutting it down and using more of the vegetables. And then I became, as a Muslim, I was always around spices and herbs. So I took all the different spices and started creating good taste that will mimic the meat. And then as I got older and I got married, I started preparing even more extravagant, wonderful gourmet cooking. When I was in my 30s, I used to have people to come to my house and they would eat. And it wasn't any such thing as charging people because the community, as a Native American, we give and we share. Some of the reason why our country is like it is because we gave it away practically. And also, I had the experience in my 40s where I was really preparing food for a lot of the mosque. A lot of people were eating meats. I took the meat out of my food. I eventually took the fish out of my food, and I bought woks to stir fry, my veggies and mushrooms and seaweed. I started making a lot of stews, without the meat and adding all the vegetables. There's a grain that's called wild rice. It has all the nutrients of the bees, the seeds. It's amino acid. It also helps to reduce the weight. These are the things that we have to learn about. I think as you continue to live, you learn. I also helped some of my friends when they were in their 50s. They started having a lot of sicknesses. So I started making drinks, the one that I made a few days ago. And I did it a lot, when people were sick with COVID sicknesses, to try to help them to reduce a lot of the sickness because the environment has changed. And that's why we're getting sick. In my childhood, we didn't drink a whole lot of water. The water was just there. We would drink, but because of the climate change, we have to drink more water. We have to eat more plant-based. We have to cut back on the acidics, foods that have acid of sugars and starches such as the flours, especially if it's white flour, white bread, white sugar, a lot of salt. The salt that's table salt. It's not healthy for us. So I, just have been in a position where people depend on me with the healing. So my drink, I take the pineapple skins and I put it in a big pot of water. And I take the skins of the papaya, the mango, garlic, onions. I put red onions in there. And then I add since I'm in the Gambia has really good superfoods like baobab, moringa. I even put neem in there. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know that the doctors, when they make these pills, it cures just about everything. It gets, with the sicknesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer, it really causes inflammation. It's like when you have an injury in your finger, what is inflammation? It's pus, blood, mucus. It's in our bodies, in our guts.
Baru nggak lapor ya, itu ada kan?